Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. As you can probably see from today's title, I will be doing two versions of a kangaroo. One from this book right now, and I was just showing you the list of all the different animals they have, and then another one will just be from a reference photo. I'm trying to see if a book that has like step-by-step drawing will be better, or if just looking at a reference is better to draw an animal, or really anything. I believe this just applies to various things. So of course I'm starting with the book, and as you could see with the preview that I showed you, they told you to draw the head and the body as the first basic steps. So that is what I do, and then after that you're drawing in basic lines for the ears and the leg. Now this is the main leg, so you gotta get this right. Personally, I really like kangaroo. Obviously, they're not in North America. They're in Australia, where they're predominantly found. So I have not come face to face with one. But I really think they're awesome animals. Obviously, I know they have a strong kick. And have you guys seen like those other YouTube videos or TikTok videos where like there's a man squaring up with a kangaroo? Or like just in general, kangaroos find each other. I just think those videos are so funny to watch. Obviously, I'm not going to draw any fighting. I know I drew just a while ago a goose attacking because I thought that was pretty funny. So things like this really get me like inspired to draw animals. One of the positives that I think can go along with using a book to draw is you don't have to do much thinking about, oh, where does this line go, where does that line go, because they've done all the thinking for you. But a downside is there's not much creativity that goes on behind it, because somebody has already given you labeled steps that will work, but you will get a reproducible image each time, which is an advantage. Also, if you are lacking any creativity, if you hit like as a writer's call a writer's block, but I guess like a drawing block, this can kind of get out of that, because you can just get your pen down on paper, which can be like the hardest part, like you just not knowing what to do. And this gives you, oh, just start here, and then you can come up from there with your own ideas, which I think is also helpful. And books really are helpful to like just starting to break down like hard animals, like, oh, you start with these small steps, and that's it. The one thing I want you guys to take away, you don't just go in with hard details. You start small, then you work your way up from there. Also, with drawing fur, as you'll see in my later in this video, you don't have to draw every single strand. I think that's one thing that new artists do, try to draw every single strand. You just want to do like the shapes of things. I think that really helps, and that's really vital to understand. As you're starting to see, this guy is becoming really buff, but I think that makes a lot of sense for the kangaroo itself, because kangaroos are very muscular and they do like to fight each other and show like their dominance. So that is one thing that I am trying to convey, even with following the steps of the animal. I'm trying to get their personality and what traits really stand out for their species. Not only am I using this video as a kind of a challenge to see which one is easier, but I'm also trying to see which one takes less time. Is it worth it to just follow a book, or does it matter if you go and look at a reference? Like, does that give you a better overall image? I'm trying to compare these two, and at the end I will tell you how long this took me versus how long it took me to draw the one just looking at an image online. Now I'm really taking my time to get the tail to look exactly like it did in the book, because I think the tail is one of their characteristic features. When you think about a kangaroo, the tail really makes them stand out from other animals. Now that I'm thinking about it, I really should have drawn like a joey sticking out of its mother's pouch. I think that would have been really cute. Unfortunately, I did not do that for you guys. So yeah, but I do draw like this kangaroo in a different pose. I thought just drawing the same pose twice would be a little bit boring, so I do switch it up on the second image. And this image I'm just looking at a reference photo online for. There's no step-by-step instructions. It's just an image, and I'm just doing my best to make it look like it. As with any of my other videos and animals that I've drawn, this will be a cartoon version, so I'm not doing a super realistic version, but it still does read as a kangaroo, which is ultimately the goal when I am drawing these animals. And I go in with this ear, and bro, I probably draw this ear 3 times throughout the video. The back ear I kind of leave alone because I'm like, I think I did a good job the first time. But the front ear at first was a little too small, and I will spoil it now. I do think I end up drawing it a little too big, which is kind of funny. So right now I'm going in working on details on the face. I'm actually quite proud of how I made the cute little button nose. It kind of reminds me of a nose that you'd see on a smaller animal, but I think it just makes it look cute, and that's what I would say my style is, a little more cutesy, cartoony. I obviously exaggerate some features so because it's not a realistic version, and I'm able to give it some personality by doing this. So now I'm going in and drawing the arms and the hands. When I draw the hands, it makes me think that this kangaroo is a nice, distinguished gentleman or lady who just clasping their hands ever so politely, waiting their turn, which is hilarious to me. So this is probably one who is past their rebellious teenage years and now often trying to seek a job. I've literally made a whole story for this thing, which is funny to do with your artwork. As you can see, I'm jumping from place to place, having no real rhyme or reason of what I'm doing next. You'll see shortly that I am going to work on determining like the shape of the back, and that's the one real difference between the book and the reference. In the reference, you have no guidance, you just do as you please, which is fun. It gives you some creativity and some room to grow as an artist. Obviously you should have some idea, but I tend to like to jump around, as you can see. And now I'm back onto the legs after briefly working on the back. I really give it some details because, as you can see before, it was just like these blobs that really had no form, and so I'm giving some life to them. I made those nails super duper sharp. He needs to go and get a manicure to get those tails worked on. I should give them some nail polish because look how fabulous and stunning they are. Definitely a centerpiece on the feet. Here I am going back in with my eraser and pencil trying to work out the exact proportions. That's the one thing you don't have to do when you're following a book, because they have the proportions worked out so that it looks good when everyone draws it. But obviously looking at a reference, it's just an image which already has distortion from taking something 3D to 2D. I have to really think about, and yes, I go and make the ear larger. Now the first time I go about this, I make it too large and it looks ridiculous. And I won't say I did a much better job when I go in the second time, but it is very huge. And I'm thinking, I kind of like the first one better, but I guess when I was drawing it, I thought, that looks okay. And the tail, like I said on the first one, it is a distinctive feature. So you see me do it right there, basically do the basic outline, but I am going to go back in and try and really figure it out. I'm just adding there some basic details to the face and trying to get the shape right. And this looks like I did it in only like a couple of tries, but I edited it about 2 to 3 minutes of me trying to fix this tail, because for whatever reason, when it was going back like that, I had it go get small way too soon, and that does not look right. It does not decrease in size that fast. They do have a pretty thick tail, and I need to convey that because that is what makes a kangaroo a kangaroo. It's a large, broad tail that it can use to bounce itself, I believe. And here I'm just trying to make sure like this leg has some, I guess, character to it, and I want to distinguish the leg from like the rest of the body. Just as I promised, I am going to give this guy some fur, and I'm not doing every single detail because I don't think that's necessary. Back at it again with this ear. It's not much better, but I am trying to incorporate the fur that I used on the leg into the ear, as you can see, and I don't think I made it any smaller, which is hilarious, but I just think I changed the shape because I wasn't too proud of it. And unfortunately, that is how I leave it. I could change it when I ink it, but I don't think I am. So I'll just show you how it looks with watercolor. And sometimes I think that helps, like covering up some of your mistakes with watercolor. but it's really just as the painter Bob Ross says, happy little accidents. And I think it is. It gives it character for sure, and it's not something you'd see in a regular photograph, and that's not what I'm doing. I'm not creating a photograph. I'm creating a drawing which has life image. It has imperfections, I really think, so I'm okay with it. I'm really at the final stages before I ink it. I'm just making a few finishes, and it says like an artist can never be too totally happy, and that's where I'm trying to like stop overdoing it, because I kind of do like the rough pencil sketch, but I also want to make it look a little better, so that is what I'm doing. At the top I'm just writing kangaroo. I know it's off camera, but it's fine. And for the last detail, I'm just adding fur to the rump of this kangaroo. So now just looking at both of them overall, I think I like the face of the one that I used the book reference for better. It just looks more serious and a little bit more realistic, whereas I like the pose of the one that I used the reference for better. It looks springy, it has a lot of life to it. You droplets, let me know which one you like better, and I will see you guys in the next video. Until then, take care. Bye.